Hello everyone, we're gonna tackle about the legal rights of women, the sexual and reproductive rights to be specific. So, there are rights that are made by politicians and decision makers that is meant to protect women and for the benefit of women alone. Example, in a certain working establishment, there are rights that are designed to protect the female workers. Example is the maternity leave, wherein a woman can still get paid even if she's not working, as though she's going to give birth, experience miscarriages, or other pregnancy terminating issues. And yes, this kind of rights or policies is very helpful for women. Because, as we know, pregnancy is a death and life situation, it's very expensive, and knowing the fact that their situation is being considered, trust me, it could make a difference, and it could be helpful for the female workers, of course. We as a woman are born different from the others. We have our own story to tell, we have our own backgrounds, and that differences this makes us unique and complicated at the same time. But that complications and differences doesn't make us less of a woman. Instead, it drives us to push ourselves to become the better version of us, that we're capable of creating our name on our own amidst of all the competitions in this highly competitive world. When a person is educated, she's undefeated because she knows and she's aware about her fundamental rights, which is the right to health, the sexual and reproductive health rights. And she has the rights and the chance and is capable of reaching her full potential as a person, because after all, gender and sexuality is never be a hindrance to one's own success. So how are we making an impact? The Global Fund for Women is continuing to transform the lives of the women and girls to fight for the right in the sexual and reproductive health rights. And then, they're awarded the 1,384 grants to 832 organizations to advance women's and girls' sexual and reproductive health rights around the world. The health-related rights under the Women's Convention highlights to diminish the discrimination against women in terms of healthcare services, and the rights of all men should include the right to have access to healthcare facilities, services, and other family planning services. The two key concepts of legal rights of a woman: autonomy and discrimination. So autonomy is a woman's right to decide for herself alone in terms of her fertility, free from the control of others. It is her own freedom of choice. A woman has the right to seek health care in relation to her sexual and reproductive health, and as a healthcare provider, they're not allowed to disclose information in terms of the client's proposed treatments, and they're meant, and they should, and they must maintain secrecy and consent in terms of the client's health issues. Equality, difference, and discrimination. So, equality implies non-discrimination. It means the state of being equal in terms of status, rights, and opportunities, while discrimination is the state or the violation of one's rights to equality. It means the unjust treatment of someone based on different categories like the ground of ethnicity, gender, and sexuality. Discrimination may also be evident in the differences between men and women's health status, and sometimes states may also be responsible and involved in discrimination perpetrated by non-governmental actors and healthcare providers. The definition of discrimination under the Convention applies to all women regardless of the marital status. It has two significant aspects. The first is it expresses the underlying recognition of the institution of marriage as constructing women's social status. While the second, it also gives expression to an underlying theme of feminist theory or gender equality. The equality theory has been noted as the real differences between men and women. It includes biological differences and social differences. When I say biological differences, it is differences that we have since we were born, like the sex organs, while the social differences are the differences that we opt to adopt as we grow and develop. Social construction and difference. Some cultures and religions often value women based on their ability to produce children. Some women also even cast out of marriage in the assumption that they can bear children when in fact their male partners has the disability. Stereotypes of women's sexuality entails different unnecessary interventions like female genital mutilations, virginity examinations, and hymen repair, which is ridiculous. Because of the uneven power relations based on gender, women are often exposed to sexual abuse, and often they acquire sexually transmitted diseases just because they can't refuse to sex even if they don't want to. Biological difference. When you say biological difference, it is a state or process in a body of a human being in which it occurs naturally in our cells and body. Example of the biological difference between man and woman is the sex. And sometimes biological differences could be a route to discrimination between two sexes, since a man or a woman can sometimes meet the standards of a male model.